Hi, I'm Stephanie. This is my Module 4 in Discover Praxis. We're going over philosophy this month, and this is my first week of content. I'm basically going to be talking about everything I've read, what gave me new ideas, what challenged me, what was new to me. So this is the first article of content that I read. It's called Give It 5 Minutes. It's written by Jason Fried. And this, I think, was the best way to start out this whole module because it was a quick, easy read, but it was so informational and something that everyone should read. I feel like everyone should know this. And I really connected to it. I found other people really connecting to it. It's so easy and simple, but it just has so much information in it. So basically what he talks about is, say you have a debate or you're just talking to someone or you're just questioning things and give it 5 minutes. So if someone goes, well, I love Starbucks. Someone's quick to go back, well, Dunkin's better. Well, give it 5 minutes and really think about why Dunkin's better and why that person thinks Starbucks is better and try to get everyone's point of views and just really think about what you're going to say because giving it 5 minutes, your answer is going to be so much more intelligent and informational versus under 30 seconds. So someone could be like, well, I like Dunkin' because it's faster and it's cheaper. But I understand why you like Starbucks because they have more options and better quality coffee. And it's more about the atmosphere than the actual drink. And this is just this is like a simple, silly, just topic just to give you a general idea because it can get so much deeper than that. It can be about politics, it can be about your views on something in the world, just any kind of argument. Just give it 5 minutes. And I promise you your answers will come out so much better than it would in under 30 seconds. And it really, it prevents fights, it prevents heated things. You can understand that other person better and leave with a better understanding on something you didn't have before. So after reading that, we had to read the work required to have an opinion, which I think follows it nicely. And I really like this one as well because it talks about the work you should have when having an opinion. So what that means is like, say, we'll do politics. Say you're going to vote for somebody. You can't just vote for somebody to vote for somebody. You need to have the research behind it, why you stand behind their beliefs, why you want what they stand for. You need to have the research. You need to do the digging. You need to see what you're representing. I'm sorry. Because and a big issue today is how people, like kids today, will vote because of whoever their parents voted for. Well, you shouldn't vote for that because that's not your opinion. You don't know anything about that person. You're just voting that because someone else did. And behind anything, even besides voting, any kind of idea or debate in the whole world and any position, you should always know what you're fighting for and what you're standing for. Even if you're wrong, you should at least have the research to back up your opinion. You should always have that to back you up. So I really like that just because it's something that I believe in and I feel like someone finally said it nicely in a nice way that anyone could understand that you should really do the work before you have an opinion. This next idea was really new for me and really hard for me to understand at first, but I did end up getting it and it just made me think a lot. So this video is about a guy who's talking about how we have no idea how wrong we are in our emotions and our memories and how we feel, on our life decisions, on our beliefs, just saying how wrong we are. He brings up Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates and talks about all the good they did. Next to all that good is how bad they were and how all the wrongs they had. And nobody wants to hear how wrong they are. So this was definitely new for me. It was definitely hard to take a grasp on of how can I be wrong when I think I'm right. But I think it challenges you to think a little deeper about things, and you can definitely get stuck just being a philosopher thinking about this topic and hearing him talk. And I think I had to actually watch it twice because it was just a lot to handle. But I really enjoyed it, and it definitely made me think about all the wrong I am in the world. But it also makes you question, if we're so wrong, then when do we know when we're right? So think about that for a minute. So I also learned in this week's content how philosophers can make great entrepreneurs or formidable entrepreneurs. Then when I read this article, it basically showed me all the likes and common interests that philosophers and entrepreneurs share. And it really makes sense on how they are so alike. So he came up with these hypotheses, which all really capture it pretty well. The first one was my favorite. It's philosophers seek to structure the world. And I think this is true because a philosopher analyzes and thinks about all the way the world is made, things that can change, things that get better, things that make it bad, the structure of how things work and how things happen. And entrepreneurs structure plans and ideas, and they sit there and try to make up things that can go wrong and get fixes to them. They reduce their business risks. They're also very analytical. The definition to his hypothesis is, so when confronted with all the uncertainty and turbulence of a startup, they are able to structure a sensible plan that their team can execute, which shows you right there that entrepreneurs share what philosophers share, the structure of the world. And all of these really, they all really show that, like, philosophers are deeply analytical. Philosophers strive to find deeper truths, and philosophers like to argue. All true of entrepreneurs. They deeply think about their whole business plan, looking for evidence. They don't go by instinct. To find deeper truths. Right here, to hire the best people for your team, you need a compelling vision. And then all of this. And that's right here, philosophers aren't afraid of risk. Entrepreneurs start up businesses. Their whole thing is a risk. And they're not afraid of it, just like philosophers aren't. So this really shows how they are alike and how most entrepreneurs in the world today are really just philosophers. So if you want to start a business, take a philosophy class. So something I wouldn't think mattered actually matters. It's called hypothetical thinking. And a way I can explain this to you is, say you have a kid, and the kid's that age where they're asking why about everything. Why is the sky blue? Why is the grass green? What if we can't go to lunch because the lunch place gets burnt down? Well, where are we going to go? Well, then we'll go to this place. Well, what if that place also burns down? Well, then we'll go to that place. They just ask the craziest things that we know aren't going to happen, but they think it because they're curious, because they're motivated and determined to find out all these different solutions and ways to think about things. And I find that I never found that important or why it mattered. I just thought, okay, they're curious. But it shows how much it matters because those are little baby philosophers, basically, just questioning things and just thinking hard about things that a lot of people just don't think about. And no regular person today is going to be like, well, what if that place burns down? We'll go here for lunch. That's just not something people do. But kids do it and philosophers do it. And I think it shows that those hypothetical questions do matter. And I feel like it does show a form of almost intelligence in planning and structuring and analyzing. Kids are great analyzers, just like philosophers are. And I think it really shows why hypothetical thinking matters. And this really does challenge you to think a little deeper about everything you do in the world and everything you question in life. It just challenges that deep thinking. And it really gave me a better understanding of philosophy and why philosophers think the way they do. So overall this week, of everything I've read, I came in knowing nothing about philosophy, never taking a class on it, never really thinking much about it. And I was one of those people that never thought about hypothetical questions or philosophers on philosophy or anything like that. And I think after reading all this, I left a little more informed and educated on why philosophers are the way they are and why they're important and what they really do. So